Hello everybody, my name is Susan Duggan. I'm here at Atlantis Crystals in Dublin and I am talking to David Ellis.
Hi Susan.
David, what are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk about meditation.
Okay.
And the power of meditation and the need for us to connect in with Source and Spirit. And when we talk about meditation, it has this kind of strange connotation. Meditation is for everybody, not just for people who are on their spiritual path, but for corporate executives, teachers, students, school children, parents, everybody.
Okay. So what is it that it does for us if we're not on a spiritual path then?
When we go into that space, or into the gap, as Deepak Chopra puts it, what we're doing is we're asking our logic brain, our ego mind, our left brain, to become occupied with what it is that we want to occupy it with. So if I listen, for example, to a guided meditation, or if I attend a guided meditation class, my ego mind begins to listen to what I'm being guided to listen to. And whilst it's being guided, it starts to stop censoring what's going on, because it's finding it repetitive and boring, and there's nothing really happening. So whilst the logic brain begins to just stop censoring and go nice and quiet, it allows the subconscious mind, which is where we're trying to access, to open up like a lotus flower and begins to absorb information.
Okay, so why is it that we want to access our subconscious mind? What does that do for us?
Our subconscious mind is the vehicle in which remembers every single thing that we've ever said, ever did, every vision that we have ever visioned. Every aspect of our life is stored within our subconscious mind. It is also the gateway to our greater mind, or our spiritual self, our I am self, or our higher self. So when we connect in with self, we are connecting in with our divinity, we're connecting in with Source, but we're also allowing ourselves to go into the gap, to draw upon information or reflection. So our subconscious mind, without judgment, will present to us information about our past, our present, and our future.
Okay. Okay. A lot of people would say that they can't meditate.
Well, can't means won't. It's as simple as that. There's no such thing as can't. It simply means I won't do it. Everybody can meditate. The understanding of meditation is silence. And the human mind was not designed to be silent. It's a processor. It processes. That's what it does. It was never, the intention behind the mind was never for it to be quiet. And if you tell the mind to be quiet, what's going to happen is it's going to say no. And it's going to bring up all of the stuff that it wants to bring up. And there's nothing to distract it. So I sit here and I go into a silent meditation. And I'm asking my conscious brain to go quiet. And the fact that I've just simply asked it to go quiet, it's woken up and wanting to know, what am I to censor? Because I have to censor something, because he's asked me to be quiet, so there must be something going on. So by going into a guided meditation, really we're tricking the mind, we're tricking it into a sense of lull, so that it doesn't need to censor anything.
Okay, so is that the same type of thing then that happens when, we get mesmerized by a drumming beat or something like that? Is it the same idea?
Very, very similar. Yeah, very similar.
Okay, and a lot of the the music that's around now that has that heavy beat on it has the same kind of hypnotic kind of effect?
And as you mentioned, hypnotic, the whole process of hypnosis, it's about distracting the logic brain and bringing it into a state of falseness, if you like, so that the subconscious mind can actually begin to do its work. Because if the subconscious mind was not governed by the conscious mind all of the time, we would live completely different lives, but maybe unsustainable for the earth, because in our human form, we need this ego, we need this logic brain to make various decisions for us and to help us in our process. But in the evolution of man, what has happened is that the conscious mind or the ego mind has actually taken over, and it drives the vehicle now, instead of it being in balance. We need to be in balance.
Okay, so are the benefits of meditation then only when you're meditating, or do they carry over, you know, sort of when you're just going about your daily life?
No, it's an interesting question. Science has proved that time spent in quietness or distraction or contemplation actually makes the body become well and disease-free. And people who spend time in contemplation or meditation live healthier lives.
Okay. So what you're saying then is that with the stressful lives that we live, that meditation could actually help us to sort of get a better balance?
Yes, and the interesting thing about, if you consider people living stressful lives, the first thing that will happen is that you will say to somebody, you know, you're very stressed, you need to meditate. And they will go, I can't, I don't have time. That's the first reaction. And because they wouldn't be used to meditation, then the whole process becomes very, very difficult for them, because their brain is so stressed and their body is so heavy with stress that trying to get into that mode of peace and tranquility becomes very, very difficult. And that is why the likes of classes and meditation groups are so powerful.
Okay. I've also experienced myself that if you do a guided meditation before you go to sleep, that it actually helps your brain to, you know, calm down, and you do actually get a better night's sleep.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Yeah. And again, it's that distraction. You're distracting the conscious mind from all of the nonsense of the day, and it's allowing the whole process to just become very peaceful and restful.
Okay. So maybe that would be a place for people to start, where, you know, sort of they could actually just fall asleep to a meditation tape.
Yes, and there's some wonderful meditation CDs available on the market, which would be perfect for that whole process of falling asleep.
Because again, I remember when I started meditating first, one of the things that I couldn't understand was that I never got to the end of a meditation. I always fell asleep beforehand. And I, you know, sort of, I questioned somebody about it, and they told me, well, if that's what your body needs, then that's what's going to happen. So I think it's important for people to understand that it's okay if you fall asleep. Yes, the meditation works anyway.
Yes, but you made a very good point, because your subconscious mind has all of the answers of life. Every answer that you need is contained within the subconscious mind, but it is censored by the conscious mind. So when you fall asleep, and you rightly said that your body needs that, so your subconscious mind already knew that your body needed sleep, but your conscious mind is driving the vehicle and saying, well, actually no, it's not time for sleep now, so therefore you're not going to sleep. And it's driving, so so the body can only be guided by the mind.
Okay, okay. So even, you know, sort of for people who've got busy lives, that if they had 20 minutes at, say, lunchtime, if they're at work, or, you know, sort of just some space in their day, that if they had 20 minutes, 30 minutes, that if they did a meditation, that it would refresh them?
Yes, indeed, it would. And the great thing about meditation, once you begin the whole process of meditation, you begin to see the benefits. And then you also begin to realize that, if I did this meditation maybe out in the park, if I'm on my own and I put on my headphones and I want to listen to a guided meditation, I think, okay, so I can try the park. Now there's a number of things happening. I'm visualizing, I can see the beauty of the planet. I'm getting fresh air as I'm sitting in the park on my lunchtime, and my mind is being allowed to just go down into that space where there's complete and utter relaxation.
Okay. So if you're at work, it should actually make you more effective in the afternoon?
Yes, because when you come out of meditation, for the first couple of seconds when you come out of meditation, you might feel a little bit woozy. In fact, you feel so wonderful that you don't actually want to come out at all. And then when you do come out, it takes only a couple of moments for your body to regulate back to exactly where you were, but with a difference. So meditation is almost like compound. So the effects are compound. So each time you do it, it compounds on the last time.
Okay. David, I see you've got a crystal in your hand there.
Yes, indeed. Whilst I'm meditating, I always like to take a crystal with me. Sometimes the crystal will take me on a journey. It might take me on its journey. It might open up my ability to meditate greater. Today I went upstairs and selected from all of the crystals here at Atlantis Crystals, and this one was the one that popped out for me to hold today, which is sodalite. The whole sodalite process is all about expansion, that expansion of our third eye, the ability of our communication. So it was appropriate for our work today. I find that when I hold a crystal, whichever one that's going to be, the journey is normally more expansive and more interesting.
Okay, well that was great, David. Thank you very much for that, and thank you all for watching.
And thank you indeed. Thank you, Susan. Thank you at home for watching us. We'll talk about something different next time. Maybe we'll talk about some crystals. And in the meantime, mind yourself, and may the light of the universe guide and surround you always. God bless now.